Hello. Greetings everyone. Today I'm gonna be talking about the video I've been promised to make a while. It's very difficult because it involves other people, involves our childhood history. But as I get older, I notice that it's necessary to put those things out. First of all, I'm going to start with why I'm deciding to make this video, the things that is bothering me, why life turned out to be this way. First, I'm going to start from the day one. For example, I'm back in living in my mother's house now, and I'm fighting every day some fake ass neighbors. They're stalking me 24/7. It's been like 10 years they've been stalking me. I try to look for the police, but the police it's fake too. The police it's a long story. I have to tell you in the end of this video how and why Brazilians stalk other people, and it's all news for them to be stalking other people, to be able to stalk someone, to be able to bully someone from distance. For them is all news. And when someone it's unattractive like she is and don't get a lot of attention, they seem to hook on guys, single men like me. So that's that. First of all, I'm gonna start with my own childhood. I come from a very poor place in Belo Horizonte, Brazil, Minas Gerais. It's kind of like poverty. My mother, when she divorced my father, they divorced. My family chose to live in an area that was supposed to become good and wealthy. The poverty around said that the little area was going to be wealthy later on and in the years, like in life, through life. But it turned out to become like more ghetto than wealthy. But there was a lot of promises about that place. So I grew up there. I remember when I first got there, my mom took us to a neighbor house that was a very dear neighbor to us. It's still our dear neighbor. It was an old lady, or old couple, with full of kids in the house. She had a bunch of sons and daughters. She had a lot of animals in her place. She used to raise pigs and dogs and chicken and everything, dogs, everything, birds. So I was very young. I didn't know. I know. I'm gonna stop just a little bit. I know the reason why. What's pushing me to do this video? I will explain you in the end of the video. It's always a catch. Stalkers, people that stalk me, and criminals in Brazil, people that are trying to force me to become what I don't want to become. But I'll explain that later. So then we went to this lady's house. My mom said, "Oh, this is gonna be our new neighbors. We're gonna be living here for now." And so we introduced ourselves. I remember the day. I was very, very young. I was a child, and then we went back to our house. My sister built a house there, a very, very good structured house there. All the people around, I noticed they were like descendants of gypsies, or like they were like Afro descendants. The majority of them used to do black magic. They still. I'm old now, they still bug me about it. And they used to do black magic, they used to do all kind of bad things. There was times that we would come back from school and there would be guys smoking pot in front of our house, people trying to bug us. Always something. There's always something. In Brazil, there was always something to bug, to threat, to stalk, to envy, to hate, to start shit, to start problems and everything. But back in the day, I didn't have the mentality that I have today. I didn't know neighbors used to stalk me mentally like they do now. Now they do, and they tell me that they do, and they declare, I am stalking you. I will make noise. I will make the hell out of your life. Now they say it. Back in the day, I didn't know. I thought, and I even knew how the human thought used to work. I didn't know. So I was a child, so I just lived day by day. I didn't know the government used to predict our actions for the next day. People used to manipulate our actions by emotions, by orders, family orders, and all the BS that they do. And now I know. I didn't know. So I went along with my life. So start living there. As I grew older, the kids around, they started. I went through puberty, and the kids around, they start to be curious too. Everyone was getting to puberty, and so the kids around used to almost push us to get together to masturbate. They used to, and if you didn't do obey any orders of any kids around, you would be done. You were done. They would like push you on the side, and you would be like not a person from the middle. So you would be excluded from society, basically. That's what they used to do. So whatever one person used to come up with, everyone else would have to do. So they start this new thing of going to abandoned areas to look at each other's face and masturbate. So I thought a little weird. I was very young, but as they made it sound so good, they used to bring porno magazines and stuff. Oh, the way becoming man, that's what men do. And I always went with the flow. I was like, what the hell, masturbate, looking to each other. But once I saw a porn magazine for the first time, my eyes opened. I felt like, wow, I was shocked to understand, to believe that it looks like the man was hurting the woman. So I felt very like abused. I felt like he broke something on me that I didn't want to be broke that time. So he showed me those things, and then so because they start doing so much, we got used to looking at porn or magazines and stuff. So they start inviting us all the time to go masturbate, not to each other, but each person used to sit in one side and in a circle, and everyone used to masturbate, and then until one comes and stuff. So they had individual comes and stuff. I particularly didn't come, so because I was too young and I even knew what cum was. I started coming after a long time later on when I was 15. I was very innocent, so I always ran away. I used to be like, oh, you know what, this is not for me. So I used to run away. The guys started like going very fast and were coming. They were getting hair on their armpit and on their chests, and I started getting worried about that. I wasn't getting any hair and stuff. So this is that. They start doing weird stuff like this, and always pushing me to do it too. So one day we were like, I will explain later why I'm telling you this. Later on, they came up with a strategy. They're like, oh, let's steal some mango and some so-and-so's property. I'm like, oh, no, I don't feel like it. They're like, oh, let's do it. Let's everyone go together. So everyone went to, like in this gathering, to steal mango. So we went down there. When we were down there, they start forming like a caterpillar forms, something like this, like a little train. Each guy went one behind each other. So they were like, they went naked, and so they placed their penis in the butt of each other, and then they were making like a little train caterpillar kind of thing. So they're like, oh, you're not gonna come? I'm like, no. And then they kind of pushed. They used to make a pressure that if I didn't, something really awful was going to happen to me. So the best thing I came up with was like, oh, I'm gonna be the last one then. So they like, oh no, you go in front. I'm like, I'm gonna be the last. They're like, no, you okay then. So and I said, oh, I'll be the last, or I'm not gonna go in. They're like, okay, let him go in the last. So they kind of like mixed it up over there, and then I pretended to go in the back. So the guy kind of like, oh, come on, you're not gonna do it. I'm going. So I kept pretending while they were doing. So I kept like making time pass and stuff. So I end up just like kind of like I put my penis out because they were pressuring him so much. So I kind of like just touch my penis in his butt, not even just on his like outside of his butt, not even like not in his butthole, but just like touching his butthole, just touch it. And for me, that was like a fuck. I let my penis touch his butt, and then I put it back in. And so for me, that was like we had sex there. So I went traumatized about that thing. So I went home and started thinking about it. And things started getting worse because they were making things more advanced, more advanced. They were like, the funny thing is like there was no women around. They were pushing me so hard to do man stuff. And the area that we grew up, they used to make that a very normal thing. That was like, it's like guys used to look at that as like, that's like eating a bread. It was like nothing. When they were like playing, we used to play kike a lot. So we were playing kike. And there was a kid in there that we were like kind of like, oh, this guy, I think he's gay because he's always on us. It was me and my best friend, kind of best friend back in the day, in a childhood friend. This guy came and we were like in the woods, and he's like, let me blow job you guys. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, let me blow you job. Let me blow you guys. We've been doing stuff for kind of while, so I haven't done. So I guess I owe you one for whatever day that I did. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, no, I owe you guys one. Let me do it. So he kind of like, we kind of tried like, no, thank you. And he's like pushing to do it, pushing. And I'm like, no. So things start getting that way. And our little neighborhood thing was like a very poverty place. Government didn't care much. We were by like a very weird river, and kids were pushing around in schools. It was public schools. We had to run from drug dealers and stuff all the time. The police was more corrupted than the devil. The police was the devil. Like when we used to see police, for us was like seeing a piggy walking, like a whole pig walking, like a nasty creature walking in 2 feet. Police was nasty. It was the devil. It was like the worst creature someone wanted to cross with was the police back in the day. It's kind of still, but we were like this about police. Police used to kill kids and throw them anywhere, and nobody would care. Still, in Brazil, it's still like that. But at least back in the day, they used to have like a special force that used to go investigate what the murder was. Now they don't anymore, only if it's their family. So then they start doing a lot of things about stuff like this, gay activities. So I quit walking around those guys. So I heard that they were doing much more. So that was another story that I told in another video. I even erased the video because those stories are so sad. I'm saying this because I'm suffering a lot of stalking, but before I turn these people in, I have to talk about the whole story, the whole history of Brazil, and why Brazilians are so like, they think no one is watching. They think they will never get caught. They think they can harass me. They think they can stalk me. They think they can do anything they want, but no one ever gonna say anything. So here I am saying. So then they start bullying me in school. Their mission was to make me quit school. Brazilians, they set a mission on my life, make me become gay, and keep me out of school and keep me out of success. This was the goal. Whatever girlfriend I would find, they would put a older guy to hit on her and take her from me, or I would make another. I would get another girl that would it would give another older guy a car or a motorcycle so that the guy would come over and pick up the girl, and then I would be with no girlfriend. So my entire life was like this. I would get a girlfriend, a guy would show up with a better car, and even if I buy a car, he would come up with a better and better and better. They would give him stuff just to surpass me. My entire life was like guys surpassing me with the help of society and everyone around me. They just used to handle any competition stuff just so that the person could surpass me. So story short, I stopped walking around the poverty and started going further from the place that I used to live to meet civilization, start going out with like more polite people, more like people with family with better life condition. So I quit being around like poor kids. So I ended up quitting school because they were like beating me in school. They would chase me in school. I was a child. I could not defend myself. Today I would kill a guy like this. I would literally kill all of them, each and every one of them, with my bare hands. But back in the day, I was a child. They used to say anything. I used to be so scared, and I used to run. And that was one day I almost broke my nose and stuff. And there was a war going on, a spiritual war going on with me. I believe now that the devil was setting my future that day, those days. He knew I was going to grow strong, and he needed to hit me with a very strong traumatized story so that when I grow up I could not defend myself or get out of a sad situation, traumatized, that is still going on now these days. So anyways, then I quit school. I started working young, and then at the job that I used to work very far away from the job, people already knew what my whole history of childhood. But as I was young and innocent, I did not notice that there was a gossip, a line of thought that going on about my life through my childhood until my teenager time. So guys in work start picking on me as well, and then they start picking about this, picking about that. So the whole thing start restarting in a different area. So my mom got another place for us to live. For me, it was a blast. So I'm like, seriously, we're moving out. So we moved from there, poverty, a satanic, black magic, demonized place, and we went to a different area that was very nice. So we came to the place that we are right now. When we came here, I was working the same place where my first job was. It was a very good friend, old friend of mine that gave me my first job experience. So I was working there. I was trying to get a driver's license. But since that first day I left my house over there was always someone chasing me, picking on me, bullying me, pushing me around, trying to start problems. I could not go, I cannot go to the grocery store without someone starting shit with me. Now I know why, but back in the day I didn't know, and I did not notice. I'm poor, I'm not good looking at all, but there's a lot of envy around me. There's a lot of envy. Bald guys, short guys, guys with low self-esteem, some dark-skinned guys, they all try to express their low self-esteem and their envy towards me. They see me as their getaway of the things that they cannot deal with on their own selves. It's very sad. I have a very high self-esteem. I don't feel like I don't think I'm good looking. I don't walk around think I'm any model or anything. But at least I don't put myself down about my appearances, and I don't make people feel bad about themselves because I feel I look the way I look. But Brazilians, they do. They're envy about your color, skin. They're envy about your hair. They envy about anything you're eating or property you buy or a car or anything, they envy it. So they pick on people that they envy, and they pick and they push and they stalk and they study about the person. They bug the person. You go in the bathroom, poop, they stalk you. They make noise when you're pooping. They make comments on the streets when you're out the street. If you have any doctor history, they make comments on public transportation. They're just like nasty, satanic stalkers, illegal, demonized people. I will explain this later. But this is what Brazilians are, at least the people in this city right here. It's not every Brazilian, of course not. That you're gonna meet a lot of great looking, good, not looking, we're not talking about look, but a lot of great personality Brazilian people. That some of them, they have like parents from Europe. Some of them, they have a very tough parents. But the majority of them, they're satanic, they're stalkers, they're low life, they're scumbags, they're cheaters, they're liars, they're all bad stuff. Back into the story. So then I was here. I forgot to mention that the old place I used to live, they used to always push me to smoke and to drink. When we started drinking when we were very young, they used to push us for games, and then whoever used to lose the games would have to drink some, like a big amount of alcohol, like pure, tough, real bad alcohol. So we start very young. Everything was a strategy of satanic and people over there to make me get used to drink and smoke. They were trying to build up on me a personality that, like, I don't care. By my 30s, I was going to be dead. That's what they intended to do. Besides that, all the guys that were my age that grew up with me, some of them went to crime, some of them went to pornography, some of them, majority of them, they died or they went to jail, and some of them are still in jail, some of them died, some of them, it's very different, very hard to survive from society like this. But this what's really happened. So when I got here in this area, I was already used to drink. So for us, the society that I grew up with, that raised me, they pushed me to get very like used to drinking beer every day. To drink beer was was the shit. So you only were the shit if you had beer every day. If you could afford 4 beers every single day and a pack of cigarette, that was the coolest shit. The ultimate time was to have 4 beers in your refrigerator and a pack of cigarette. They push people to only wear fancy, expensive, extremely expensive clothes, and they used to look at down other people that didn't. They create and they push us to be the worst of we could come up with, that we could become. So then, back in the day, I didn't understand economy. I did not. Like I said, I quit school. I couldn't study. People were pushing me around. Anything I would read, I would just forget. When I was young, I used to be very good with school, and I knew that I had a thing for school. I thought, I'm going to be good in school. It feels like it's my thing. But then anything that used to interest me, a bunch of Brazilian kids used to focus themselves just to make me quit. So whatever I would try, there would be a group of people force me to quit, pushing me to quit, whatever I would try. If I tried motorcycle, they would push me to quit. If I tried cars, anything, they would push me to quit. It looks like they just want me to kill myself and just die already. That's what they really want, because they didn't let me do anything. They're like a group of nasty, satanic whisper group of people that they stay around. I cannot prove it, because the majority of people that hears and witness, they're corrupted. Some of them, they are with them, they work for them, or they're scared of them. They whisper people's thoughts. They are thought provoking. They are thought suggesters. They're from areas from Bahia. Usually they're blacks. Usually they're dark skins. They are focused and they are positioned themselves to try to take over the internet as a media, because they're trying to connect each element of a deja vu, so that later on they just like grab the whole thing, and if they need to kill someone, that's not going to be a problem. They just like, oh, we just kill anyone that you say. Everyone is together. Will Smith is together with my old friend in San Francisco. They have Brazilians. It's a pile of shit trying to take over the internet and involving me on it in the process. So I was here, so they used to push me to go in a lot of bars. I believe that they thought this way. Oh, let's use this guy. He's like a nobody, and he works, and he's good with women. Back in the day, I was at least. He's good with the women, and he got rhythm. Let's push him to be our bar puppet. So they used to push me and other guys to be their bar puppets. We used to work a lot in the restaurants. Brazilians, they set up my life for failure. They pulled the. Fortunately, I finished this this hotel restaurant course that I took for 6 months of like a bunch of stuff about restaurant and hotels. We learn about bartending, waiter, hotel, service, desk, and everything. And back in the day, I didn't speak English yet, nor in Spanish. I was just my straight Portuguese, very curious to know what was outside of Brazil, what was out there for me. I was very like anxious to get out and just get out of Brazilian nasty, that darkness of like downtown my city. There was just a bunch of like guys that look more like a rats trying to get something from out of anyone. They were just like drugs, straight alcohol, and just wandering around trying to beat somebody, try to steal somebody, try to rape some girl, try to kill anyone that would mess with. It's just like hell in earth. So I was very anxious to get out of there, and I spent most of my teenagerhood working in restaurants. I was in fancy restaurants, hotels, and fancy malls, and so I learned a lot. I saw a lot, and I met many different nice women, and that made me a little bit who I am. So I knew that the school bullying stopped because I grew up. I started doing some jiu-jitsu, and Brazilians, they are so like nasty and envy. Whatever I would try to do, they would do it too. So I started doing jiu-jitsu. The guys, the gay, they're kind of like gay but straight at the same time. They do the guys in my city. They do both ways. They do men and women, and the reason why they do men and women, it's because they like to be thought provokers. They like to be like neighborhood stalkers. They own the most amount of money in each city: Brazil, Belo Horizonte, São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro. So they're like a drug traffic ghetto gatherings. So they rent anywhere they want. They kill anyone. They believe they kill anyone they want, and nothing's gonna happen. So they are neighborhood whispers. For example, right now they rented closer here, and you can hear them yapping about me. So when they're not yapping, they play music to piss me off or to bug me. For example, it's not that they know. I think that life it's working this way. I think that my mom one time told me that there is thought transfer. People transfer thoughts to each other, but I don't think it's only that. I think people, they study your routine, your life routine, and like I wrote a book about this before, and I can prove it. I don't like to talk about it because I don't share any knowledge with Brazilians. They're just nasty and corrupted, and they're not good for anything that surrounds me. But there is a book that talks about this. They study your routine, and based on your daily routine, if you don't change your routine, if you don't move to a different city, this type of people, they start predicting your life. So by predicting your routine, it looks like they're reading your thoughts, or they are exchanging thought experience with you, but they're not. They're just saying what you used to do every day. For example, if you poop, for example, like me, myself, I like to go party every day in the morning. But when I'm not very good in the morning, I go in the afternoon, because I heard that Bono from YouTube goes at 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I find funny to go in the same time that he does, because I used to be a big fan before he got old and boring. So I go either in the morning or in the night, or sometimes I go 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So my neighbor, the nasty stalker one, which I cannot turn in because in Brazil there is no law against stalkers, and Brazilian police is still learning. And they are just a bunch of kids wearing a uniform, a gun, and pretending to be police officers. And when they come in action, they come to go the opposite, and to, they're just nothing. So this woman, she, every time I go poop, she hits the wall, or she says something loud, or she mentions something. I don't know why, the reason why she does this. I think she's just a nasty, old, uncalled for, unattractive cougar, and she's trying to piss me off. And in her stupid little mind, she might think, oh, let me piss him off as much that it's gonna bring him to me. I don't know. I just don't understand why people spend their time watching people poop. I try to hide as much. So back in the line here, I learned that a lot of Brazilians are doing this. Not only women, but kids as well. But most of them are kids and old women, with like single women. I don't like to say fat, because I don't have anything against fat people, but some of them are very nasty and very, very annoying as well. But they're doing this a lot. Not only in poop. For example, when I'm here, I'm in my room. When I go to eat something, when I get in the kitchen, there is someone in the street talking shit about it, about exactly thing that I'm doing in the kitchen. So I go like, well, this is weird. So I guess they're playing with me. They're making design of, oh, I'm in some TV show and I don't know. For example, I ride my bicycle every day, almost every day. So people talk about my personal life without even knowing me. They talk about my real privacy, and I cannot. And I thought today some woman said something that was really tricky to me. I thought maybe they're trying to push me to start recording things, put a camera in my head and start recording to try to boost up their economy. Maybe that's why they bully me so much. Maybe they want me to do videos to prove that what I'm saying, because it's insane. For example, Brazilians, Belo Horizonte, where I live, men, they get old, and they usually their DNA is short man and bald head. I don't understand why they are taking this on me, but they are. Brazilians in my city, it's full of bars. In each street, there's like one bar in every single corner. So all the gay, they're not gay, but they act gay. The old men, the local old men, they retired, and so they go, for them, their life is to go, wake up in the morning, they go to a bar, they sit there with a bunch of old ugly men, bald, big belly. They sit there and they mock whoever passes by, usually me as well, much more me, because I just hate them, and they know I hate them so much. So they sit there mocking people. Now I know there's even cops drinking with them, like there's some police that drink with them, so they become like this thing. So whenever I pass by with my bicycle, they say something. They love to flirt with men. They love to flirt with teenagers. They love it. They love it. Old men here in Brazil, they're so freaking gay. They're so nasty and so all these things that there is in law in life. They're learning now because they all come from like a savage family, and back in the day they didn't obey any law. For example, harassing other person, harassing other people. They don't care about this. They don't understand that harassing it's illegal. They don't understand harassing is bad. For example, if I go to the police and say, oh, someone is harassing me, he uses different conversation to change the subject because he doesn't want to implant a law that protect people to avoid people to be harassed. They don't care about music all loud. They play music all loud. The guy is so gay that he makes a song with lyrics that will trigger your personal life or your privacy. Or for example, so you break up with a girl. Tomorrow, the gay guy, he will make like a country song that talks about your breaking up. And then you are obligated to listen to that crap because no one can tell him to turn it down. It's very sad. It's a very sad situation. So moving on, in the complaints, there is there about like who Brazilians are, like who these people in my city are, and then I end up going to United States because over here there was like not. I had some friends. I had some real fake friends in here. We used to go out. We used to go party. We used to do a lot of things together. I guess they knew I was going to go to the United States. They became my friends until I go because they were interested on some merchandise, I believe, because now it makes sense. But I went to the United States. A lot of things happened. There was a lot of things happening. I always had faith in God. When I got in the United States, there was a lot of job and work opportunity. But still, there was a lot of Brazilians creating problems around me. There was a lot of problems, lots of problems with Brazilians. Brazilians, they're always with some scam. They're always with like trying to sell me something from somebody else, trying to put me into something illegal. There's always something. And like I said, being young and not having the mentality that I have today, I would end up falling for it. For example, I'm in the United States there to work and make money and try to raise a family or something. They used to push me to do motorcycle, for example. I'll never do motorcycle today. Maybe if I have everything set up, maybe, but that wouldn't be my priority to have a motorcycle, to be riding motorcycle like I used to in the United States all the time. But those, I can tell now that those things were always Brazilians pushing me for failure. And it's very sad because I'm a Brazilian, and I'm 40 years old now, and I spent my 40 years running from these people. So today I was trying to think about like, when have I done anything to you to push you to have this hate? It's like, it's just crazy, like how they stalk me, how they envy me, how they hate me so much. And it's like, sometimes I caught like old ladies, fat, small old lady trying to start shit with me. I go like, I just don't go straight to the woman and say, get a life or something, because I don't know the person. It's very weird to come up with someone that you don't know and wake them up, be like, hey, you in my back, so get up. Get out my back, so get alive. But Brazilians are doing this and they don't care now because everyone is witness, everyone is it's accomplished of what they are doing to each other and to me especially. I read another book after I came back from the United States, was about Aristoteles. Brazilians, they only do upgrades that I do. For example, right now, I'm reading a certain of a book. Everyone is doing the same. If I stop reading this certain of book and I start reading, for example, science, everyone's going to do science. So I do not understand what this stalker is about. I don't understand. For example, I'm thinking right now on getting more ice cream. That I had ice cream early. I'm thinking of getting more ice cream because my mom just bought ice cream. So I'm thinking of getting some of those ice cream. As soon as I finish the video and I go on YouTube to check out how the visual art is, it's gonna be ice cream. Then some girl is gonna be talking about exact something I just said right now. It's like they're trying to make. They made a line of thoughts that they can hack whatever I say. They either hacking whatever I think, or they are predicting my actions. That's why I think they're predicting my actions, because certain parts of the world, they're always it's after. So whatever I'm living, they already lived. So there is no news around me. That's why they push me to be in this pothole part of Brazil, where there's only like thieves and drug dealers and corrupted cops, very bad women, very no good women at all. They want me to be around people like this and place like this. They keep me away from job. Whatever job I get, for example, I get a job today. Oh, let me get you a job. I got you a job. So I start work. Whatever it is, I can like scrub the floor. There will be one person there, either woman or one guy, that would start problem with me. They will start a problem with me until I lose the job. It's always like this. 4 years of my life, they done this each job I had, so that they could screw my life, my history of jobs and everything. As we speak right now, there is an evil witch right next to me laughing. I can hear her laugh. It's all set up. It's all set up between Brazilians. It's all set up between like families. Back in the day, I remember when this wasn't happening, I used to call anyone and say like, oh, I'm unemployed right now. People would be like, oh, you unemployed? No way. Let me get you a car right now. They used to get me a car. I used to be like, oh, I just quit school. Anyone would be like, oh, I got this school you can do from distance. They would find things for me all the time. Now that they are living my thoughts and my life and stalking me 24/7, it's not happening anymore. No one, I haven't spoke to a different person rather than my mom for like, I think has been a while. Sometimes it happens. They send someone different to speak to me to just break the ice and stuff and to pretend. But usually they're isolating me through society, and they're studying my past life, which is in the United States. They're using my ex-wife's name, sometimes in vain. They use people from the United States name. Sometimes they use situations that I lived that I was alone. There's situations that people say to me that I was just me and God only in a square 4x4 foot place, just me and God, no one signed anything, and people say it. They know people. So by that, by saying secrets and things like this, I know that the satellite probably work for poverty as well. Not poverty, but for families, for other people, for excuse me. I think because I'm single and there's no way I can like sue anyone. I don't think I would sue anyone, but because I cannot sue anyone, or because I cannot sue the government, I cannot sue families and stuff, they do more. Brazilians, they try to manipulate me with threats of fake church. Women, teenage girls, they think they can manipulate me through church. They think they can yep, and I hear her all the time. She's just Brazilian women, they think like this: if you're a man and if you don't go to church, she have the right to pursue you in any kind of ways. She can say whatever she wants to you. Brazilian, I understood now that I just find out that all the fights in the streets and murders and crimes that happen in the street and life, they're all made by women. Women, they whispered on teenagers to steal and then get arrested and go to jail. Women, especially in Brazil, they whisper men to kill. They whispered on men to suicide. They are, most of them, they are thought provokers. They women, they work together. They're not like men. Men don't work together. Women, have you ever seen a woman unemployed? Unemployed, a woman without a job? There's no way. She'll be unemployed for like a week or something. After a week, some other girl will come up and say, I got a job for you. Men are not like that. I've been unemployed for 10 years. I'm not bad. I speak English, I speak Portuguese, I speak Spanish. I do so many things. I do so much. I know so much. I know anything from restaurant to drive. I drive big truck, small cars. I know the entire Brazil. I know the United States like from the palm of my hand. But because Brazilians and some Americans use me to do money washing on FedEx and many other companies, they are now keeping me out of work. First of all, they destroyed my life in Brazil. Then they pushed me to go to the United States. They destroyed my life there. Then they pushed me back here. There is a reason why I'm here. They invented. I'll talk about that in a different video if we have to keep on this conversation. I never intended to make videos like this, but because life is become this way, I think it's necessary to tell the world why, what Brazilians are doing, not only in Brazil but in the United States as well. When there is so much crime that Brazilians do, I don't like to say, because like I said, I'm not friends with any criminal, but I don't think we should. For example, I don't do coke. Why should I talk about coke? I don't do coke. I don't do any drugs, so why do I have to talk about drugs? So I talk about the things that it's going on with me right now. What's going on with me right now? It's that I'm being separated from society. There is no lawyer that can help me. Lawyers in Brazil are all fake and phony. They're all liars. They all got a simulated job that will, in the future, will take over some public money or something. It's not like in the United States. In the United States, people don't discriminate you. You go in a lawyer, say, I need a lawyer. This is going on with me. I'm hurting this way. The guy, he takes your case, and the judge doesn't look who you are, your color of your skin or anything like that. If you have a car, if you have a Mercedes like that. Brazilians, they only help people that have a car, or they only help people that are rich or have a family, rich family. In Brazil, we don't have help. We are lost. We are left with like rats and pigs and demonized people. That's why I'm making this video. We are lost. At least I am. They present to other countries like nice places, like in São Paulo, nice areas like BB, São Paulo, and Avenida Paulista and stuff like that, so that the world never know exactly what's happening to us. In favelas in Brazil, in ghettos in Brazil, those people, they don't have the basic of a human being since we know as a people. The Brazilian government is a joke. It's a lie. It's bullshit. It's BS. They invade a abandoned place, abandoned area, and then they put some farmers, some fake farmers, some gypsy like black magic tribes to hold the land, and then they create BS problem with the government so that the government can build a better place for them. So that it's a mess. It's like, think of a nasty, messy country, Brazil. So I seriously, here, I don't stay here. I won't stay here very long. So this is one of the reasons why I'm doing this video as well. Brazilians, they think they can kill anyone and get away with it. Me, they try to kill me all the time. When I ride my bike, they push the car over me to try to kill me. They push me to. I suffer threats in so many other ways, and most of them are black people. When I look at the person, I go like, wow, it's so funny, because I'm a big admirer of black people, and usually it's you people that threats me. there's usually like a fat ass, obnoxious black woman that she's loud. She tries to get my attention. She tries to involve with me in some other way. Sometimes I pretend I don't hear it, but usually she's involved with fake church. When I pass by, she says something loud. When they drive a car by me, it looks like they're savage or they're poverty and they want to show their car. They pass by, they have to shout or something to almost put. They want to scare me so that I can fall from the bike. It's very weird. They make loud parties, and then they start like saying things, like hitting messages, and then laughing really loud, and then imitating people that we know back in the day, and it's very satanic, demonized gathering, and I just can't. I have to wear this all the time when it's not like my neighbor talking shit or monitoring. She's trying to monitor my. She's trying to kind of like monitorize my poop, my time, my poop, my pee. I go pee and then she hits the wall. I told my mom didn't believe in me. So I have to kind of like, in order to bust a person like this, I have to buy several cameras, put one in the top, upstairs in the window, and then in several different areas. Of course, she will not do it, but I would have to buy several type of cameras to bust a person like this. So I'm not just gonna buy several cameras to waste my time with a demon like this. So that's why I'm making this video. I see many videos when people beating up like women. I will never touch a woman, but I see men beating women up on the street. Other fat lady, black ladies beating women in the street and stuff like this. It's just awful. I'm here to say that I know what she's trying to do. She's trying to piss me off so that I can make a scandal, and then I lose my room, because the house is not mine, it's my family. And then I lose my room. Pretty soon I'm not going to be here anyway, so I don't understand why she wastes so much energy on me. I'm not going to be here for very long. But this is what she's trying to do. And I believe that she's trying to piss me off and then make us move out to try to buy the place for cheaper. Because they done this before, and the person succeed. I saw it, and then later on they want to buy the whole thing, and it's just a nasty, bad intention, demons, unfortunately living around us that we have to deal with, and God knows until when. Back to the story. Then in the United States, I'm not going to talk about the United States right now, because I still have hope someday to get back to the heaven someday. Someday I will get back to heaven. And that's why I don't want to talk about it. And I did not know what I know now. But if I go back there, trust me, I will be so much more successful than before. My head was flying. Like I said before, human beings, let's start from human beings. Human beings, I thought human beings, I didn't know about the thoughts. I didn't know someone's thoughts could be suggested by, for example, a satanic neighbor like this. So these people spend most of their time sending bad thoughts to me. I didn't know thoughts could be suggested. I thought thoughts, they were formed in your brain from your own cells. And I still believe that. I believe that on the brain, there's each cell holds a part of memories. And for example, right now, I can go through my brain and reach out to whatever memory I want. Of course, there's those things that people are trying to push on you, and you have to fight on them. For example, today, it's something really bad happened to me, like a bad thought came to me. You have to fight those things, because there's the thought and there's what people want you to think. For example, like I said, my entire childhood, gay Brazilians and guys that didn't want me successful. They worked my whole childhood to try to make me become gay. So now when they see me, excuse me, now when they see me passing by on the streets, and those thoughts come in because they know I know. They know I remember what they did to me. They pushed me to be gay. They pushed me to many things in childhood, and I was able to escape them. Now when they see me, they send those thoughts to me, and I hear it. I receive the thoughts. For example, today I was in an area that I go ride a bike, and they're using a lot of kids now to do this to me. I guess they're trying to incriminate me with kids because back in the day there was a lot of kids involved in Brazil, at least, especially in this city. They involve kids because they know criminals. They love killing people that are with kids, and police loves to use this excuse to kill other people. So maybe that's why they're doing this so much with me. But this is what I think. For example, today I passed by a guy, and they are very envy. They feel they show their envy towards me. I don't know if it's because I lived away and I thought about it today. I thought maybe my style. I don't know what it is. I'm always quiet. I don't talk to anyone. I haven't gone party or doing anything for 20 years maybe. So they're just picking on me. So I know. If I was a guy that was always out there, maybe, but I'm not. I'm always in my room, always doing nothing. I go out just to ride a bicycle. Today I passed by a kid and a guy. He started staring at me, and I'm like, okay. So I looked it down. When I passed by the kid said something about what happened in our childhood, in that situation that we all were together. So I looked at the guy, I'm like, I thought to myself, like, how do you know, right? I thought to myself, like, well, how do you know? Like, I don't even know you. If I see the kids that were all together, some of them I kind of know where they are, but we don't go around talking about this. We're kids. But the funny thing is, like, how does a stranger know? And why is this concern you anyhow? So I passed by, the kid said something loud, like, I forgot. He said something really mean, really very tiny little kid. He said something very mean. So it hurt me at first because at the time I remember. I go like, oh yeah, that I remember and stuff like that. And then past a little bit more, another kid said something else, and I'm like, well, what the fuck? So now I understand what they're doing. They placed me in situations when I was young, and now they're trying to use kids to kind of point the finger at me and trying to, things that they used to do. They push me for cigarettes. They push me for homosexual. They push me for alcohol. They push me to. I remember when I was 17 years old. Brazilians, they're so nasty. They're so satanic that each and every momentum that I lived in this pothole, this hell that I'm in right now, that I'm trying to get out. I remember like it was yesterday. I was here in this house, and then and now I say that there was a thought suggestion for me to go out. I was thought that I was just going out because I felt like it. I felt like going out to meet girls and drink, and I used to smoke a lot. I used to go out and to smoke and meet people. I used to be very innocent, and people took advantage of it because I thought people they liked me like I liked them, and it was all full of shit. I remember one time, let's say that way, the thought came to my head, oh, let's go out. I thought to myself, okay, let's do it. I used to talk to myself. I never had anyone to talk to. Talk to myself and God all the time. Like, okay, let's go out. So I got dressed here and put some clothes on, and it was kind of close to my house, the party around here. A couple of country music guys that I liked a lot. I remember it was Zezé de Camargo e Luciano. And when I moved from the poverty place to this place, And here they start problem with me too, to trying to get me involved in crime. So there was two kids around here that were kind of from like a wealthier family, but they were always in trouble, doing drugs, doing robbery, doing stuff. And I used to hang out with them a lot because they were the only people that used to invite me in anyway. So after so many problems that he tried to put me in, he was a nice guy though, very fun. His name was Marcos, very fun guy, really fun to be around, but very, very troublemaker. And I think he was a puppet from the whole society he has today, always trying to kill me, get me killed, kill me, or put me in jail or something. Throughout my whole life was like this. So we went there. First I was there by myself, and then he showed up, him and another guy, tall big guy. And then the tall big guy was always in pot. He's always like, oh, I gotta get out, I gotta go pot. I'm gonna go do pot and marijuana and stuff. So we're like, okay, go then. So he went off. Just me and him stayed. Two girls showed up very automatically, very, everything's so set up and so like, all of a sudden the music stopped because some guy threw the orange on the singer's short, and he yelled at people and said, oh, you guys are so impolite, I'm singing here. And he was very famous anyways. He's still very famous. And then he's like, oh, let's grab those two girls, let's go to my house, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, still very young, still very unexperienced. I didn't have an experience in life. I was very young, very like innocent still. Sex wasn't my thing to just, I started later, but sex was still very innocent for me. And he was like a crazy dude, doing all over. So we went to his house, and then that was the first time I noticed that Brazilians were trying to get me killed or get me to jail or something. Then when we were there, he's like, oh, grab her and go to the other room, dude. I'm like, no, man, I'm fine here. So he's like pushing his girl, and I'm like, me and the other girl, we were kind of like, we didn't click. So I'm just looking at her, and then I start conversation like, oh, they're crazy, huh? She's like, yeah, they are. So we kind of like just passing time. So he grabbed some vitamins, and he put in a glass cup, vitamins, filled with water. And he's like, give it to her. She might give you a kiss. The girl got very scared. She threw the liquid away. She ran away. The girl with me. The girl with him stayed in his room. I guess they end up doing it. So I said to him, oh, I'm going to get out. She went out, so I'm going to go out too. And he's like, no, stay. I'm like, no, I'm out. So I came home. When I came home, I spent the night here. In the morning, my family and I were like, we had a big table in the front. We were like all having breakfast together. Everyone, big table, everyone having breakfast and just enjoying each other. A cop car just stopped in front of my house. Then a stupid fake, they're fake. This is not a police. Police wouldn't do this. All set up, all fake, all phony. Was a police car, and then coincidence, a lawyer friend of ours who were here. All bunch of bullshit. And then this guy came, and I felt so scared. I went there, didn't want my mom to see it, so I went out and I told the guy, like, "What's up?" He's like, "Oh, are you so?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, we're here to invite you to the police station. We have some deal with some things to talk to you about." I'm like, "I'm not gonna go anywhere." He's like, "Oh, we're just inviting." He was trying to be polite. So my brother-in-law in the time, he came in. He's like, "If you want, I'll go with you." I'm like, was so automatically. I wasn't used to police in my door like this at all. I felt so scared. I'm like, okay then, let's go. Because I want them out of my house. I didn't want my mom to see anything. So we went there. So when we went there, they're like, "Oh, you arrested." They arrest me. I went crazy. So I told him, I'll call my mother, they arrest me. So they took me to one place and the guy to another place. So they made that little thing like the little logic thing. Oh, he said you're giving her drugs and stuff. Like, no. So they're trying to make us turn each other in, right? I just said, no, I didn't give her anything. Those things were vitamins. And she and I was like, oh, she said you taught her. Your friend said you taught her too. And he started pushing us for very bad things. He took me to the cells and showed me all those, the guys there, like a bunch of everything there, toothpaste and toothbrush, everything together. They all jammed each other. They all jammed in there, all together, jammed it like in Brazil. It was awful just seeing they're like, oh, bring him here, bring him here. Just a bunch of like stupid puppets. Then my lawyer showed up, and then we had a lawyer that got killed from the very kids. He used to be a very good friend of ours. He was going to be a judge by now. But I guess they killed him because they knew the journey would going to continue. They killed him in a very weird way, and when he was getting out of school. Then he went inside. He's like, oh, he's just 17. How can you arrest him and stuff? So, and then they checked that there was just vitamins and stuff. So they took me back home, and then I guess he spent the night there, my friend. But story short, you can tell that Brazilians are all bullshit, bunch of bullshit. They're all satanic, they're all demonized. They just, I guess now, I think they're starting life. They're very advanced now. But back in the day, they were starting life and they needed to use people to fulfill those journeys. Police journey, economy, restaurants, hotels, hospitals. Excuse me. You see, I'm so alone and not used to start talking this long that my throat is hurting. So this is what happens. So with all this experience that I just said in this video, that maybe you are out there and then you know a lawyer or a police that is not corrupt, and you want to pass this video out to others and call for help and try to maybe help me get out of Brazil, or try to get me a sponsor to get out of here. I'm begging anyone to get out here. I know Brazil is not for me. Everyone is corrupted. I cannot trust anyone. I think they're just trying to. I can tell you in another video. I could write a book about this. When I was in Miami, I tried to start writing a book. That's when I noticed that I was being followed by like neighbors like this, that I was being stalked by somebody, because I started writing. So while I was writing, I never had the experience of receiving thoughts like she was doing it. She was sending so much thought suggestion that I almost could see the thought coming to me. So I stopped writing the book. So I thought, what the hell? So then that's when I start understanding that I was being stalked by others, that I was being tormented by single women, by crazy neighbors, by people that are low life, people that have nothing better to do than stalking single men like me. But we can go. I'm not a doctor to be talking about this phenomenons about thoughts and brains and mind, but because it have happened to me so much, now I can talk more clearly about it. And I always try to, not to go too crazy about it, because it doesn't matter if I tell you things here. If you don't if you haven't had the experience that I had, you won't understand what I'm talking about. If you haven't read the books that I read, you won't understand. So I'm just gonna say little by little. So take care and Merry Christmas.